Hey everyone, so today we're going to have a little fun and compare a couple of the more popular Maui gyms, the Maverick and the Baby Beach. See these interchanged a lot, though I don't particularly know why, but maybe we'll figure that out here. Let's have some fun and dive into these two frames, see kind of the differences between these two. So we're going to start out with this guy, the Maverick, partially because it just fits me better. And that is your classic aviator style. This is basically the aviator everybody out there makes a version of in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether super classic like this one, or something a little bit more edgy, pretty much everybody has an aviator. What that's going to be is your really deep teardrop shape down here, really nice big lenses, usually very, very narrow in the bridge. This one isn't quite as narrow as a lot of them, which may be beneficial, but let's take a look. The lens size on these is going to be 61 millimeters across edge to edge here, 14 millimeters for the bridge size, which is good in this case because it fits a little bit more narrow nose or a little bit wider nose fairly well. It really hits right up the middle in that sweet spot, in my opinion. The lens depth, I don't have a millimeter ruler handy, but it's going to be right around 50 millimeters top to bottom here. That's at that bottom edge, a little bit over that, but in that ballpark. Temple length they've got at 137, always fun with the oddball ones. It's going to fit pretty well on most people though. It's almost a hair short on me, so I'm going to say it fits more like your typical 135 overall. Nothing too crazy there, but that's your classic overall, just simple, lightweight aviator. And lightweight because these are titanium, if I remember correctly. Yep, titanium, made in Japan. Good stuff there. The lenses on these are not the super thin glass, unfortunately, but that's the only unfortunate thing about it. Now, onto the Baby Beach, which is a little bit more that slim profile, not quite that true classic aviator. This is more kind of what happened in the 90s, 2000s era, right? And overall width is actually pretty close, surprisingly. It is a little bit more narrow, and you can see that because these are bowing out a little bit right there. And that is due to our lens size being much more narrow. The bridge is a little bit wider too, though. So bridge here is 18 millimeters on this one. The lens is 58 millimeters, so we drop off 6 millimeters across the width in the lens area, and we gain 4 millimeters in the bridge. So it is still a little bit more narrow than the Maverick. Not a ton, but of course you do have this double bar here. And this one does have a more pronounced dip to it, tapers down a little bit more over here. So this one's a little bit more feminine. I would lean a little bit more towards the Wiki Wiki, which unfortunately I didn't bring down here with me, and I really should have because it was a good alternative. At the time it didn't occur to me because I was going off of this teardrop shape at the bottom, so I apologize, but check that one out as well. The key here is these are all the titanium frames in that aviator shape, and I don't mean all as in these are the only two options, particularly with Maui Gym. There are others even in the Maui collection, but these two are the ones that are cross-shopped and compared the most. So we have a little bit of fun there. Overall weight's actually pretty darn close between these two. You're not going to pick up much of a difference. It's really whether you want that more slim profile of this one or that deeper classic aviator of this one. I'm going to lean this direction. Even though I'm not a huge aviator fan, I think the flow and overall sweeping look of this one is a little bit better than the tighter, shorter B measurement on this one. That was a little too easy, guys. Overall look, both of them feature the same really thin temple design all the way back. I didn't mention the temple length on this one, but I'd imagine it's that same. No, these are much shorter. 120 millimeters. What's really interesting is it does not feel significantly shorter than the 137 on the Maverick. I don't know what's up with that. I assume this one was designed more to be the kids' Maverick, but I see a lot of people wear this one. And again, it doesn't really fit like a kid's frame, even on me. The length back here in the temple area, I know you can't see it on camera, but between these two, even though it's technically 140 and 120, I mean, you can even see that here, right? I've got this one in front of this one, roughly to get them at the same distance, but you can see that curve behind the ear is happening at the same place. I think that I don't know anything, because I was going to say possibly a steeper curvature is what's giving us that, but these are both on that same 6 base lens. I don't have an explanation for how this is a 120 millimeter temple and is the same length as this one. I'm going to stare at them for the next 6 minutes. I promise I'm not going to do that, actually. That's just really strange to me, though. And I don't understand how that is the case. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Anyways, between these, I'm going to hand it to the Maverick. You can make your own decision. I'd say if you have a much smaller face, definitely the Baby Beats is a cool look, but still giving you that classic teardrop shape. Pronounced a little bit less, but still a really cool look. In particular, we've got here the rose gold with the Maui sunrise lenses, which gives you that really nice pink mirror on the front. And of course, the rose look through the lens. Huge fan of that. Actually, these are my 2 favorite colorways in each of these frames respectively. And that is your HCL bronze in the gold chassis with the single gradient, which means this one is not quite as dark as some of the others, but it's still gorgeous. And I really like that single gradient much more than the double gradient on the Mavericks. I think that's the way most of them come though, so that's easy enough. That's my pick and my take. Let me know your thoughts. I'm sure you've run across these 2 frames or considered them or are considering them right now, so let me know if this helped you out, what you'd like to see in the future. On that note, I'll catch you guys next time.